Welcome to the Wong Reviewer. My name is Will, where I do tech unboxing, tech reviews, and tech tutorials. And today's episode is going to be entirely shot on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Right now, I'm shooting at 24 frames per second and shooting with the front-facing camera, and then I'm going to be shooting with the rear-facing camera. The main reason why I bought the iPhone Pro Max was because of the iPhone camera. Because of the larger sensor, it allows more light coming in and also has the in-body stabilization. I want to see if this camera is suitable for me to shoot YouTube videos. Usually I take the Fuji Xt3, which is mounted up there right now, as my main camera, but I also wanted to see if this camera can act as my secondary camera to shoot B-roll and other like vlog type style of video. So this whole video is all shot on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so watch it and see what you think of the quality of it. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today's video is going to be behind the scenes look of how I shoot overhead products and tutorials and unboxings using my overhead custom built overhead rig there. I received actually quite a bit of messages about what camera I use, what equipment do I use, what light do I use, and how do I have it all set up. And so I'm going to answer those viewers' questions about how I actually shoot those. So I'm going to go through my custom rig, I'm going to go through the equipment I use, and how I shoot my overhead unboxing videos. As you're watching the video and you find it helpful, please remember to give it a thumbs up, like the video, and consider subscribing to my channel for similar content. Right now, I'm shooting on 24 frames per second. The white balance is automatic and the exposure is automatic. I just want to see how well the iPhone algorithm or programming works with just everything leaving on automatic setting. So right now, I'm on the wide angle lens, and if I go back to the normal lens, this is the normal 1x. This is the wide angle. You can already see the color temperature looks different. You can see it's more yellow here, and if you look at the wall, and then when I go back to 1x, it looks a little bit more natural or neutral. So right now, I'm actually in the middle of shooting a video review of the K678 fine microphone. So this company actually sent it to me for me to do a product review on. So I'm just doing that now, but I thought I might as well do a behind the scenes look of how I actually shoot this product. So right now it's a bit messy. I shoot on my IKEA desk. This is the desk I used to do all my work on. I don't have a dedicated desk to do my unboxing on, so everything is all there. So a dual monitor setup. My gamepad's right here, but I also have a green cut mat, which I'll explain in a second. So this is, as you can see here, is my custom-made PVC piping. Go for a closer look. So I constructed this probably about 6 months ago to do overhead shots, so I can do better overhead shots and have everything all attached to it. In that video, I explained to you how I actually, what parts I used and how I built it. And I'll leave a card up here so that you can check that video out. The only difference now is I painted it matte black. I painted it matte black just so that it matches with the rest of the black desk and the furniture and decor and everything. So, and also, you know, painting looks a bit more professional looking than having to look at the white and the blue printed stuff that was on there. In this rig cost about $90 Canadian to build, including the materials for the pipe, the paint, and the epoxy glue that I used to kind of put it together. Let's first start out with my lighting system and what I use to light this table up. So the first thing is, this is my Godox LED 260C LED panel that I have here shining down as my main light. The nice thing about this LED panel is it actually has a remote, and the remote also has the ability to adjust the intensity as well as adjust the color temperature. So it's great, so I don't have to keep going back up here to fiddle and make around the adjustments. I can just do that with the remote, so I can turn it off, turn it on, and then adjust the color temperature or the intensity. And I usually shoot at 4,500 Kelvin for my color temperature. And then what's mounted, actually, I used to have the LED panel mounted right here in the middle, so it looks straight down on whatever I was shooting. However, I changed it because when I was shooting something that was glossy or had plastic on it, the reflection from the light just overtook the product. It was hard for me to adjust in post. So now I adjusted it on, put on my left-hand side, which worked out well because when I'm doing my talking head videos, I'm shooting this way, it actually casts a shadow on my left side of my face, which gives my face a bit more three-dimensional look, which looks a little bit nicer. So what's mounted to my rig is a small rig clamp. I have 5 of these. These things are invaluable for my overhead rig. And I'll leave a link in the description below where you can pick this up, but I use these for a lot of different purposes. So that's what's holding up the light. My other light source I have is like a key light, which is, this one is the Aputure Amaran light, a little light here. I like this one because, again, I can dial in the color temperature. It's 4500 Kelvin to match that light there. So when I don't have to do any color corrections in post because both these lights match. Also, this one has a light diffuser on here. So I can take it off if I want more glow, but I have it on here. And I like it because it runs on a battery, and again, I can adjust the intensity as well by just turning it up and down. And this light is pretty helpful because I also use this for my video conferencing for work. I also use this light for video conferencing, just kind of show in front of my face for better lighting. So those are the 2 lights I use, the Godox light and my Aputure light. And then what's here is, I'm just going to turn on my camera here, turn this on. This is the Atomos Ninja 5. Just turn it on here. So I use the Atomos Ninja 5 for 2 reasons. The first reason is my Fuji Xt3, which I have mounted here, does not have a flip out screen, so I have no idea and I can't see what I'm shooting. So I have a HDMI cable going through the pipe connected to here. I have a 500 gigabyte SSD drive, which I record onto as well. So my Fuji Xt3 has a 30-minute record limit, and this does not. And that's why I like recording on here, because sometimes when I film, I film more than 30 minutes at a time, so I don't have to keep on starting and stopping the Fuji Xt3. Another reason is the Atomos Ninja 5 has a better output. I can have an output for bitrate for color more on the Atomos Ninja 5 than if I was to record internally on a micro SD card. So that's another reason why I have it on here. And on the Atomos Ninja 5, I can also adjust what kind of codec that I want to record to as well. On attaching it to it is an Aputure friction arm, attached to another small rig clamp, which I talked about, and it's attached to a monitor, dual monitor stand. One is actually connected to my monitor. This one is not. This one I actually use to mount the Fuji Xt3 on here for my talking head videos. So the camera will actually sit right there. And then talking about the Fuji Xt3, so this is the Fuji Xt3. I've had it for almost 2 years now. This is, and I've used the 35 f2 lens, which is a perfect focal length for me to shoot these overhead videos. The main reason why I use a prime lens instead of a zoom lens is the prime lens allow more light in, so I can shoot at f2, and it's a constant aperture all the way through as I go through, which is kind of nice. It's a lighter setup too. Like if I have the 18 to 55, which I've used before, the 16 to 55 2.8, which is about this big, it's heavy. I'm just worried that the clamps won't hold the camera and those big lenses, and this is a pretty light setup for the small rig clamp. So right now I have a ball tripod joint, which is from my Rhino slider. I just kind of took it off of there and used it for here. It's great because I can adjust this at any time. Now connected to my Fuji Xt3 for what I use for sound is my Rode NTG microphone, which is plugged in here. This is a shotgun microphone which I use, and I like it because you can adjust the gain as you're listening to your voice. So that's what I have here. It's good because I don't also have to use my lav mic. And here what I did was I jerry-rigged a microphone boom arm to the PVC cross arm here. So what I did is I drilled a big hole here and I stuffed the arm, the microphone boom arm right here, and I kind of painted it. I took some electrical tape to make it black, and so now it stands out here. And if I need to, I can actually, I have three screws here that I can actually rotate this if I need to, and this is just to tighten this part up. And so now it allows me to extend this out and pivot back and forth based on my setup. So That's another thing about this rig as well, like, is I can put stuff like this on there. So my aperture light again is hooked up to an aperture friction arm, which is again clamped on with my small rig clamp. Again, these things are invaluable. I use this for many different purposes. Okay, in terms of the actual shoot, again, I'm just doing this unboxing and review right now. But if you see in most of my videos, I have this green cutting mat, and it serves two purposes. One is it makes the product stand out against than having to shoot against black. For instance, if I was shooting this on black, it's very hard to kind of make out this this microphone. So I like having that contrast of that green cutting mat, and also the lines make it look a little bit more professional. Makes it look nice when I'm shooting on the video. So, like for instance here, like I like seeing the lines. It looks kind of neat versus just having a black mat. And also it's a little bit more robust too, depending on what I'm reviewing, just having this hard purpose here. And so there you go. That's kind of, I'm gonna go zoom back out. So this is overall what my overhead rig to shoot product unboxing and reviews and tutorials when I do overhead shots. And I've also used this for conferencing. I'm doing when I'm making notes or drawing diagrams or workflow processes, because I'm a business analyst. I've done that at video conferencing, where I just have a piece of paper and draw on it so people can see what I'm actually drawing as well, especially when I do workflow processes. All right, so that is overall how I have my rig set up. Okay, so that concludes my behind the scenes video of my Frankenstein of a setup behind me. I used to do overhead camera shots for unboxing and tutorials. If you have any questions about any of the gear I use or the PVC rig or anything about shooting overhead videos, please leave it in the comments below. I will get back to you. So remember, this whole episode was filmed on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It was shot at 24 frames per second, and it was shot at everything on auto. So the white balance and exposure was auto. I want to see how well the AI actually records this video. So what do you guys think of the video footage? Do you think it's worthy enough for YouTube? Do you think it's good enough for YouTube? And do you think maybe I should stick with maybe the Insta360 as my portable camera versus having the iPhone here? All right, so thank you guys for watching. Until next time.